What up, what up? It's Ace OG. Back into the top, back in the video. So the title of this video is going to be Donald Trump is shaking things up. I say again, Donald J. Trump is shaking things up. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers that subscribe to the channel. Alright, you put your video out, give it leverage, you better yourselves. So before I get into the video, I'd like to appreciate all you guys for pushing me towards 4K. I'm at 4,000 subscribers right now. I appreciate all you guys for supporting my channel. I'm telling you, y'all, like I'm so appreciative, it's not even funny. I'm extremely appreciative. It's a blessing, it really is, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I come up here, that's the reason why I keep pushing the video out, to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So, Donald Trump is shaking things up. Now, I'm pretty sure some cameras are hearing me right now because I'm in DC. I'm in Georgetown, one of the more expensive places in DC, right? And I'm gonna go over a couple things that he's been doing over the last, 2-3 weeks? It ain't been a month yet since he's been in office, and he's already doing a lot of things, a lot of changes. You know, some folks are not able to stomach, and then there's some that I think that need to be done. But you know, I've come to find out, especially in his first 4 years, that he's a guy that if he says if he tell you something, he's gonna do it, right? And I respect that. Even though I may not agree with all his policies and how he moves in the space sometimes, but at the end of the day, I can still respect the guy, even though I may not agree with certain things that he does, right? That's all about being a man, right? It's not about feelings. It's not about your damn feelings, you know what I'm saying? It's about respect. So, let's talk about first and foremost DEI, which is diversity, equality, and inclusion. And the reason why I want to speak about this because me, myself, is affected by DEI because I am what we consider a disabled veteran, right? And I never really thought about what this meant. You know, when I first retired, because when I first retired, I was going for government jobs, contracting jobs, right? And ever since I've been retired, I've always been able to mark that box and check that box off when they asked me, am I a protected veteran? And what that meant was that whatever job that I got, especially if it was a job with the government, which all of them have been, with the exception of the one I have now, there were certain accommodations that had to be allotted to me based off my disability and based off me being a veteran as a whole in general, right? Now I never had to use it, but it was a hip pocket type thing, right? It was one of those things that I knew that if something happened and it affected my work productivity, I could tell my supervisor and folks that are in charge that look, my disability is affecting my work right now, and if from a legal standpoint they could not fire me because of that, right? But that's gone. If I'm reading this thing correctly, because I fall under DEI, that option that I have is gone, right? It is what it is. I'm saying? I'm still gonna move, I'm still gonna live, I'm still gonna do what I need to do in order to take care of my family, you know what I'm saying? Folks don't know how to pivot. Folks don't know how to move into different spaces to make things get done, right? It's crazy. Y'all folks are catastrophizing over things you cannot control. You can't, right? And let me also say this when it comes to that. So, when I was in uniform, and even outside of uniform, but I mainly saw this when I was in uniform, the federal workers that I worked for, whether it be there was under the GS pay scale or the GG's pay scale. Some of them were prior military, some of them were retirees, some of them had never been in the military, right? But they were considered government workers. And I'm telling you, y'all, I'm putting this on everything I love. Some of these folks that I met that were government workers were some of the biggest pieces of crap I had ever met in my life. And what I mean by that is that they could care less about their job. You know what I'm saying? They did the bare minimum. And the reason why they did this because they knew that it would damn it take an act of Congress to fire them because of whatever stipulation they had when it came to them having that government job. That's the reason why it was so hard, and it's still hard to this day to get a government job, because once folks get that job, they already know that it's it's in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting paid pretty well, and if you F up even numerous times, it's still hard for you to get fired, right? That's why government jobs are so sought after. One guy I tell you about, I ain't gonna say his name. Actually, I forgot his name now. But he was a part of the security office, and I'm trying to think what was going on. I think I was a person that dealt with the recruiting process, not recruiting process. I'm sorry, retention process, meaning that when folks wanted to re-enlist in the Army, I was the one that did their paperwork. And because of the type of job these guys had in my unit during the time, I had to get a signature from this guy, right? He was the main person that went in the security office. And I put his everything I love, y'all. 90% of the time I went to his office, he was not there. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's going on? I'm sitting here thinking he's like on some type of long-term disability or something, right? He's home, he's sick or something. What it was that he would spend more than half of the day out in the smoke area smoking cigarettes. Literally, I kid you not, yo. I put this on everything I love. This guy would smoke damn near more than half of the day away. He would smoke a cigarette, just chain smoke, and he would never be in his office. But nobody could fire this guy. This guy had, I think, like 2 years left before retirement, and they just left him alone. And I remember some days I would go to his office, and it would be like 4 or 5 folks in front of me waiting for this guy to come back from smoking, taking his time, wasting our time. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to some things that Donald Trump is doing, when it comes to, looking at things from a different lens and probably taking counsel for some folks and seeing how the federal government works when it comes to folks retaining jobs, I think that the shakeup is a good thing. That's my personal opinion, right? I think it's a good thing because I think certain policies and procedures that have been put in place to protect folks need to be looked at a lot more thoroughly, because some of the work output that these folks are doing is not up to par. It just isn't, you know what I'm saying? Just my personal opinion. But I've seen this in person. I've seen this, happen over and over again when I was in uniform and even out of uniform. So he's definitely shaking things up when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm all for it, because at the end of the day, if things affect me, I'm just gonna pivot. I'm not gonna catastrophize and be hollering and screaming on the internet saying that, oh, he's wrong, blah, 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 blah. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Do you trust the government or do you trust God? That's what you gotta ask yourself, you know what I'm saying? Folks get into their feelings way too much when it comes to this type of stuff. So also, he's doing some revamping when it comes to some of these agencies, like USAID. I guess yesterday, today is the 4th. Yesterday, I guess these folks couldn't get in their office, right? So it was a huge thing with that yesterday. Not exactly sure what their job is, but I think a lot of their jobs are outsourced overseas, so that may be a reason why that happened. I don't do a deep dive when it comes to certain things like this. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But they couldn't get in the office yesterday, right? So that was a big thing. And I totally get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are folks' jobs, these are folks' livelihoods. So I totally get that the folks are upset about this thing. He said that he's going to dismantle Department of Education. Somebody he said he was going to dismantle it as well. I'm gonna say, so he's shaking up a lot of things, man. He just is. He's doing a lot. A lot of folks would say he's doing too much. That's what they would say. What I would say personally is do your research first, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't get upset over something that you don't know nothing about, right? You have to understand why he's doing these things. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand, what kind of information that he's being fed, which, I mean, I know people are not privy to that, but trust me, there's a rhyme and reason to everything he's doing right now. Now, would it be something that nefarious, something that is going to not benefit minorities? Who knows? We don't know that, you know what I'm saying? But what I do know, and what I would tell you, is that keep educating yourself about what's going on, right? And pivot to make sure that you're not caught up in the crossfire when it comes to these certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because he's the president right now. He's going to be the president for the next 4 years. So, if he's doing all these things right now in the first 30 days, what do you think is going to happen over the next 4 years, right? We don't know. But I know for myself, I can't be too concerned about that, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna always pivot to make sure that my family taken care of. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things in life you cannot control. You know what I'm saying? Folks get into like a headspace where they're so upset about something that they have no control over. You are a U.S. citizen that have nothing to do with the government. You know what I'm saying? So you have no say-so in anything. Your only power is your vote. That's it. That's your only power. So what happens during the mid-elections, like the next 2 years? So we have mid-election, 2026? So get out there and vote. A lot of folks didn't vote this year because they felt like things was not going to change. Well, I bet your ass get out there and vote in the next 2 years. I bet you y'all will. I bet you y'all will. Because a lot of folks are having, buyer's remorse when it comes to vote for Donald Trump. A lot of folks are upset about what he's doing. But, at the end of the day, if you didn't vote, you don't have no say-so in it. If you voted for him, maybe you didn't have yourself educated enough to make a well-informed vote. But anyway, just conversation, let me know what y'all think. I think that he's shaking up a lot of things. I know he's shaking up a lot of things. And you just got to pivot, y'all. You got to pivot. And you have to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. And, make the best decisions for yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these folks that are making the decisions don't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take the good with the bad and just move on. Things are going to be all right. Just pray, all right? So you want me to discuss this topic or subject, then benefit your channel, email at asog757@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. Say so G, signing out. I'm gone.